أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to our class today. I hope and pray that everyone is doing very well. Jazakumullah for joining on time. We will begin with our opening prayer as always. Let's have a student now. Can we have 2439 to the mic, please? Wa alaikum assalam. Okay, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm okay as well. Jazakumullah for asking. So let's start with Dawood. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Good, well done. Over here, when you join the noon to the sheen, do so with force, okay? So a bit harder. Nashay.
Nashay.
Yeah, that's better. Okay, so not nashay. We're going to say nashay. So really hard joining for the noon to the sheen. All right. Okay, and the translation, please.
I seek refuge with Allah from Shaitan the rejected.
Good. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Good. Translation.
In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful.
Excellent. Rabbi allimni ma huwa khayrun indak.
Rabbi allimni ma huwa khayrun indak.
Good, well done, very good. Just one thing over here, the Rabbi was stretched slightly longer, okay, than it needs to be. It's a simple kasra, so only one count, okay? Rabbi.
Okay. Rabbi.
Good, well done. And then we carry on, okay? Well done. And the translation, please.
Oh my Lord, teach me what is best for me in your knowledge.
Tazkirah. Okay, well done. Yes, well done. So this is where the prayer is from. Excellent. Jazakumullah. Allah Hafiz for now. Okay. Class etiquettes and rules, please do make sure you're following them at all times, okay? As always. All right, so today's class, the schedule is for the first 15 minutes or so, we're going to be looking at our rule in focus, which is looking at the rule of Madde Za'id, which consists of Madde Saghir and Madde Kabir. Okay, and this is from lesson number 19, which is on page 80 to 81 in the Talimul-Qur'an book. And then for the breakout rooms, it's revision today. So we're just going to be choosing random, we're just going to be choosing a few verses from where we have been reciting this week, and also what we've given you for your homework, and also just making sure that you're understanding all the rules properly and reciting properly as well, as always, okay? And then please do make sure you come back at the end for the concluding prayer and your homework as well. Okay, so let's have a look at the rule in focus, which is Madde Za'id, or in English, it's known as extended elongation. So we've learned previously about about the letters of mud, haven't we? So we've learned that certain letters are prolonged when they follow letters of prolongation, and the timing for that is 2 counts. Okay, so wherever we see a letter of prolongation, so alif, waw, and ya, and if they come after a certain letter with a certain stroke, then that letter will be stretched for 2 counts. Okay, that's the rule of normal elongation that we have learned previously. So I'm sure you have all been revising and are very much familiar with that rule that we've learned previously. So this rule that we're covering today is following on from that. Okay, so sometimes that sound that we make for the normal elongation is sometimes stretched even further according to the rules. And at this stage, we'd like you to please understand that there are 2 broad categories of extended elongation. Okay, so first there is normal elongation, which is for 2 counts. Okay, and then we have extended elongation. And there are 2 categories that fall under extended elongation. The first is for Maddus Saghir, And the second type is Maddul Kabir. Okay, Maddul Saghir and Maddul Kabir. Both these types of extended elongations are recognized by similar signs. However, there is a slight difference in the way that they look. Okay, and I'm going to be going through that with you now, just explaining the slight difference that there is for the signs of Maddul Saghir and Maddul Kabir. As well as them looking slightly different, there is also a difference in the sound that needs to be made. So the extended elongation for Madd Saghir, we have to stretch the sound of that letter for 3 to 5 counts. Okay, so anywhere between 3 to 5 counts, however long you can hold your breath for. And for Maddul Kabir, you have to stretch and hold your sound for 4 to 6 counts, so slightly longer than Madd Saghir. Okay, and of course it all depends on how you're reciting and how much you're stretching each sign and each letter. However, that's approximate. Okay, so Madd Saghir is 3 to 5 counts and Madd Kabir is 4 to 6 counts. That's how much your sound should be stretched for. Okay, so let's have a look at Madd Saghir first of all. Okay, Madd Saghir, the sign for Madd Saghir can be found over here. Okay, on top of the ya mud. Okay, we see that we have a ya mud over here, and normally a ya mud would be stretched for 2 counts. Okay, as we all know. However, now this sign has appeared on top. Let me remove that. Let me highlight that again for everybody. Okay, so a ya mud, however, this sign is on top of that now. Okay, so this sign is Madd Saghir. Okay, and it's a wavy line. It's a thin wavy line. Okay, not too long, but it looks like this, and this is a Madd Saghir. And when we find this on top of a letter, then that means we have to stretch our sound for 3 to 5 counts. Okay, so whereas normally for for ya mud we would stretch for 2 counts, now because of the Madd Saghir we're stretching for slightly longer, at least 3 counts. Okay, so we're going to pronounce this as, so the ta is there with the kasra, so ti sound, but now we're going to stretch the ti sound for 3 to 5 counts because of the Madd Saghir. Okay, so we're going to say ti allati an'amtu. Okay, so if this Madd Saghir, so once again, I just want to make sure everybody's clear on this, that let's say the Madd Saghir wasn't there, you would stretch the T sound for 2 counts, wouldn't you, because of the Ya Mad. However, now that the Madd Saghir is there, that means our sound is stretched even longer, so for 3 to 5 counts. Okay, I hope that's clear to everybody. Let's have a look at another example. On top of the Alif Mad over here, we see a Madd Saghir. Again, a thin wavy line that curves like this. Okay, and we're going to stretch this sound for 3 to 5 counts as well. Okay, so Mim with a fatha followed by an Alif Mad with a Madd Saghir on top. So we're going to stretch the Ma sound for 3 to 5 counts. Bima unzila. Bima unzila. Okay, so one more example. Over here, we have a Waw Mad. Okay, however, there is a Madd Saghir right on top of it. So instead of stretching 2 counts for the Waw Mad, we're now going to stretch 3 counts at least for the Madd Saghir. Sari'u ila. Okay, stretching the O sound for 3 counts at least. Sari'u ila. Okay, so that was Madd Saghir. Let's now move on to Madd Kabir. Madd Kabir, let's highlight an example for you over here. Okay, this on top of the Alif Mad over here, we see a Madd Kabir. Okay, you can see that it's different to the Mad Saghir, which I'll scroll up to in just a moment, but you can see that it's rounded, it's thicker, and it's slightly shorter as well. So over here, we can see Mad Saghir is a thin wavy line like this, and Mad Kabir is a thick rounded line like this. Okay, so that is the difference in how they look. Okay, and of course the sound is different as well because this requires a longer stretch. It requires a stretch for 4 to 6 counts. Okay, so really take a nice deep breath when you are about to pronounce letters with a Mad Kabir or a Mad Saghir on top so that you can really hold it for the correct amount of time. Okay, so just pronouncing this sound over here, we're going to say do. All right, straight after this, we can see, and this is quite normal for letters where we see Mad Kabir, that straight after it, we have a mushaddad letter, as we can see over here. Okay, not all the times, but sometimes we see that there is a mushaddad letter straight after it. So there's a ra mushaddad in this case. So how we pronounce this is that we still stretch for the 4 counts for the Mad Kabir, and then at the end, we join the ra mushaddad with force as we would do with any other mushaddad letter. Okay? All right, so we're going to pronounce that now, but also remember that there is a waw mud straight after the ru. Okay, so we're going to say ru. We're going to join that sound to the sound that we've just made for the Mad Kabir. Okay, so listen carefully. Tudaru. Okay, so making sure to stretch for the appropriate amount of time and then don't break your sound. Carry on and join the ra with force. Okay, pressing down on the ra mushaddad and then making the sound of the waw mud later. Okay, tudaruhunna. Okay. So very, very important that we stretch, and then if there is a mushaddad letter straight after it, don't stop your breath or stop your sound, rather join it straight after, making sure you're pressing down on the mushaddad letter as always. Okay, let's have a look at another example. Over here, we have a Mad Kabir on top of a meme. Okay, this meme is a disjointed letter. So what that means is there is no other sign on this meme to indicate what kind of sound we have to make. So there's no fatha on it or kasra or vertical fatha or anything like that, okay? So because there is no sign to indicate how we should pronounce that letter, what we're going to do is we're going to pronounce this letter as the name of the letter, okay? So this is, of course, a meme, okay? So we're going to pronounce this as a meme, but we're going to stretch for 4 counts at least because of the Mad Kabir. So we're going to say meme. Okay. Ha meme. All right. Now over here, this is another example of disjointed letters. We have an alif, we have a lam, and we have a meme with no other sign on it to indicate how we should pronounce that letter. So we are going to pronounce this as alif, this is lam, and this is meme. Okay, but the lam, of course, has a Mad Kabir, so we're going to say lam, but we're going to stretch that for 4 counts. And the meme also has a Mad Kabir as well as a shadda, so we're going to join to the lam sound, but we're also going to stretch the meme sound for 4 counts. So listen carefully. Alif, lam, meme. Okay, saying this as lam, saying this as meme, but joining the lam meme sound together, okay, because of the shadda. One more time. Alif, lam, meme. Okay, so timing is really important in these in this rule that we've just covered today, but also remember about mushaddad letters, that if there is a mushaddad letter straight after a Mad Kabir, then we must make sure to stretch and then join the mushaddad letter straight after it with force, pressing down on the mushaddad letter. Okay,